Good morning, everyone. Before we are going to start, let me introduce first myself. I'm your teacher at Personal Development, Miss Crystal Jane De Carion. Welcome to our 8th week of online learning. Our objectives today's discussions are to know the different characteristics of individual. Second, describe facts and feelings. Third, can answer different questions. Positive approaches in dealing with life demands. There must be many occasions when you find yourself juggling things to accomplish certain tasks because there are so many things to do. It can be thought at time. At present, what are the things you need to deal with and accomplish? How do you deal with them? It helps to face the challenges squarely. It gives you opportunity to take better perspective, which should encourage you to find ways to manage them in more effective ways. Challenges in the family. There is a class song of Apple's Hiking Society that speaks of the typical sentiments of parents about their growing child. Some common challenges families face in the addition to managing chronic pain include things like moving house, separation or divorce, parenting issues, pressures at work or school, unemployment and financial problems, illness or disability of family member, death of a family member, drug, alcohol, gambling, addiction, and domestic violence. As the structure of family changes over time, so do the challenges family face. Events like divorce and remarriage present new difficulties for families and individuals. Other long-standing domestic issues such as abuse continue to strain the health and stability of today's families. Quest for independence. Often the problem stems from the child wanting to establish identity and independence and desire of parents to continuously give guidance and protection to their children. It cannot be helped that parents set certain rules at home to assign rules and chores to do, set curfews and even choose the company you should go with. There is also the issue of dealing either high expectation in terms of achievements, especially academically. Parents naturally aspire that their children excel in school. For some children, it is a source of frustration if they do not succeed in meeting their parent expectations. On the other hand, there are also children who take the expectations of their parents as a challenge, pushing them to do better in school. In fact, a study on family involvement made by Harvard Graduate School of Education in 2004 revealed that parents' expectation may raise children's achievement. This is recalled high expectations. In education, the term high expectations or the phrase common high expectations typically refers to any effort to set the same high educational standards for all the students in class, school, or education system. The concept of high expectation is premised on the philosophical and pedagogical belief that a failure to hold all students to high expectation effectively denies them access to a high quality education since the educational achievements of students tends to rise or fall in direct relation to the expectation placed upon them. In other words, students who are expected to learn more or perform better generally do so, while those held to lower expectations usually achieve less. The effect that expectation can have on performance, commonly called the Pygmalion effect, has been extensively researched and documented in variety of fields. In education, the seminal work of Robert Rosenthal and Leonard J. Comsoon, published in their 1968 book Pygmalion in the Classroom, is considered the first major attempt to document the effect that teachers' expectations have on student performance. In many ways, the concept of high expectations is not just an educational or instructional issue, but also an ethical and social justice issue. The concept of high expectations could be seen as an antipode to the often heard phrase, the soft bigotry of low expectation, which refers to the lowering of expectation either intentionally or unintentionally for certain student groups such as minorities, low-income students, special education students, English language learners, and other groups that have been historically underperformed or underachieved. The basic idea is that lowering expectation for certain groups, making career choices, sometimes choosing a college course or career can become an issue. It happens when their parents' career plan for their child is different from what the child actually wants. While relationship issues, many parents believe that getting in an exclusive relationship should be the less of their child's priorities at this point. Hence, conflict arises at times when they find out that their child is in a relationship, fearing that it will negatively affect their child's concentrations in school. Another thing, dealing with family expectation communicates openly. Sometimes parents may tend to overlook your plans and way of doing things, probably because they are unsure of what you want to do in life. Your communication skills will play an important role in expressing your thoughts and feelings. This is when knowing your own self, acknowledging your skill and talents, and being clear with your interests or plan become. Encourage open communication by paying attention on sound obvious, but when you get this wrong, you actively discourage open communication. Many leaders have an open door policy, but there is difference between having an open people actually walking inside, even seemingly trivial rather, small signs shows people that you want to hear what they have to say. To show that you are paying attention, try the following: eliminate distraction, put your electronic devices on silent mode, turn them face down or turn them off, make eye contact, postpone the discussion if you can't have it right now, practice active listening. Paying attention shows people that you are interested in listening and encouraging open communication. Encourage open communication by asking for suggestion. Understand your parents. In some instances, you may find yourself in disagreement with your parents, which lead to conflict. Parents often say adolescents generally feels invincible, as though nothing bad could possibly happen to them. You may think that the world is at your feet to enjoy. Remember that parents are not always trying to spoil your fun. They are just normally protective. Be a responsible. Expectations do not only come from your parents. You, siblings, and even close relatives may also have expectation from you. Sharing household chores with your siblings are common expectation. Do not forget that you need to do your part at home. Remember that responsibility is the twin of independence. Independence is not a reason to relinquish your role in the family. What is social demands? School life takes so much of your time and energy. You spend the greater part of the day in school and still carry many requirements when you go home and even on weekends. Admittedly, there are times when the demands can really be a challenge. A key to better management of schoolwork is making use of your time wisely. You will find out how good time management skills will prove valuable in college and life in general. Major reasons why time management is problem occur include: first is poor planning, poor organizational skills, delaying, procrastinating, and low needs for achievement. Low self-assessment and high level of anxiety may also make it more difficult for you to accomplish tasks. If you do not believe that you are capable of doing something, accomplishments the task may be delayed because you will struggle against your own self-belief, and your low self-confidence will also lower down your standards. The same things may happen if anxiety gets in the way. Anxiety tempers your energy to do things. Instead of focusing on doing the task, your worries, nervousness, or concerns take your attention from what needs to be done. Here are some time management tips to help you. List down your activities. What are the things you need to do? First is prioritize. Ask yourself which ones are important and urgent. You may want to write your activities in a grid based on priorities. Stephen Covey, author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, develop a time management grid to organize priorities. Here is an example of matrix based on Covey's books to help you organize your school activities and prioritize your accomplishment of them. To act or perform in a certain way if the person is unable to perform according to the demands of a situation, the pressure is channelized and the person is able to perform the task. Then that pressure is normal stress, positive stress, or eustress. Or we may say it is something good that out of the pressure or stress the person is able to perform better. There is so much demands on the individual to do few things that if a person is not capable of doing, then the person starts feeling the stress or the pressure. If this pressure is prolonged, it may transform into stress. If a stress is putting something positive on you to do something in a given period of time, it is called eustress, and eustress is something good because it makes you able to achieve something. And if you achieve something, you feel good about it. But if the stress is too much, you will have negative consequences on your health, on your person as the whole, and on your work performance. The same situation may be stressful for one person but not maybe the stressful for the other person, depending on the personality type. People handle stress differently. This leads to two types of stress. Two types of stress are the positive stress and the negative stress. What is pair challenges? Pair challenges are managed and delivered by the sector for the sector. They are improved focus. The scope will be agreed with the council and tailored to reflect their local needs and specific requirements. The peer team will involve peers from across the sectors and beyond. What is peer pressure? Peer pressure is the direct influence on the people by peers or the effect on an individual who gets encouraged to follow their peers by changing their attitudes, values, or behaviors to conform to those of the influencing group of individuals. This can result in either a positive or negative effect or both. Social groups affected include both memberships group in which individuals are formally members and cliques in which membership is not clearly defined. However, a person does not need to be a member or be seeking member of a group to be affected by peer pressure. Peer pressure can decrease one's confidence. Peer conflict. There are several ways to identify peer conflict. When a conflict occurs, everyone involved has equal powers in the relationship. Both individuals might be emotional and upset, but neither is seeking control or attention. They also are respectful of each other, even though they are disagree. How to manage conflict with peers. Life is full of struggles with peers of work. Everybody has flaws, but when seriously flawed, people are part of your work environment. Conflict can arise. Settle disagreements before they escalate to a serious workplace problem. There are ways to come an understanding that can resolve any grift. Opening up, and considering other people is all that is needed. Ask your peers what is bothering them in any conflict. People have at least one issue, and this problem is often not communicated. Asking for clarity will at least shed some light on the situation so you can deal with it. Try to find an agreement. If you are struggling with working relationships, try to establish that all parties involved still want to be happy working together. Say something like, despite our differences on this matter, I would like to work smoothly and effectively with you. All parties will need to agree on improving the relationships. Discuss the problem in a calm manner and use inclusive words such as we. You will resolve more peer conflicts if you say something like, we should work this out instead of, you guys and I better settle this. Avoid emphasizing your peers' character traits that annoy you. Focus on what they are saying instead of how they smell, sound, or look. They often can't help their annoying characteristics, but they do have control over their words. Explain how each person could be benefit if there was no conflict. If there is something you need from the peers, suggest that you will be able to help them in the future. Try not to be stubborn. If you are able to reach a compromise, you might be able to come to a better agreement. For example, tell your coworkers they can have time to share their opinions, but they must await for you to finish speaking, and you will do same for them. Take your problem to a third party for solution. For example, if at your business meetings your peers continue to interrupt each other and no logical patterns of discussion flows, you could bring your boss into the next meetings as a mediator. She may be able to identify the fallacies and improve peers' relations for the future. Conflict resolution in a workplace full of people with different backgrounds, experiences, work priorities, and deadlines. Rather, conflict is inevitable. This video teaches employees how to resolve conflict with others directly, respectfully, and effectively. Review the entire video free on the page. Then, if prompted, follow the steps to log in or sign up for access to the full-length review, right or wrong to win, peer-to-peer conflict resolution, right or wrong to win is a practical and engaging conflict training film that teaches people how to move from a mindset rather of I am right, you are wrong to a place of mutual understanding and collaboration. It helps people in conflict see that it's never you against me. It's always us against the problem. The film introduces an easy to remember the 5 step process that applies to any conflict. Step 1, step away. Step 2, prepare. And step 3, focus on the problem, not the person. Step 4, meet face to face. Step 5, seek a win-win solution. This process enables any two employees to communicate their way to finding a win-win solution, thereby lessening the need for a conflict mediator such as a supervisor or manager. In addition to the 5 step process, the video features a highly relatable peer-to-peer conflict scenario and fun graphics. For the inquiries, you may click the link https://gaitf.com/lcms, or you may contact 0975-2708-093 or 0951-3032-796. Thank you for listening. This is Miss Kusel Jane Dicarion, your teacher in personal development. Once again, good morning, everyone.